20 years after 1 million people died in the famine, 1 in 5 Ethiopians still faces a daily battle just to find enough to eat. To understand why and what it's like to live on the edge of starvation, I'm going to live in an Ethiopian village for the next month. I'll have no food, water, or money of my own. This is my breakfast. And these flies, of course, helps balance the diet. Gives the extra nutritious values that are lacking. Well, that's how we eat here. Oh, want some? It's coleslaw, eh? This is my last supper. Outside the capital, millions are struggling to survive on what they farm, and it's just not enough. Most are dependent on food aid. From tomorrow, I am going to be living like an ordinary Ethiopian villager. That's enough. This is I grew up in a rather poor family in Sierra Leone, but frankly, living in London for the last 10 years has made me soft. I mean, I've got to do justice to this because this is very well my last meal, so I'll make sure I enjoy this. I weigh 16.5 stone and have become a total stranger to hunger. Wow. This tastes really nice. I am going to stay in Kerkos, a village 2 days away in the remote north. A recent Save the Children report estimated that 500,000 people here were totally destitute. It also warned that 2.5 million more, well over half the population, faced starvation if the crops failed. But I have no idea what to expect. I don't even speak the language. Thank you very much for hosting me in your village. I'm a Seginelo. Brahanu is Kerkos' village elder and the first to offer me shelter. I'm told the other villagers are scared of strangers, even though I'll be here all alone as the film crew won't be staying in the village with me. When I arrive at Brahanu's home and meet his family, they too seem apprehensive and suspicious.
Salam.
The only people who are friendly are his niece Tatu and his daughter.
What's name? Name?
Wezer.
Wezer.
Even when we settle in for the night, Brahanu and his family remain shy and just stare at me silently. This is wheat. This is what I've been given for supper. In fact, this is the first food I've had all day, but I'm a bit excited at the moment, so I'm kind of okay. I haven't drank any water since I came here, but I'm kind of okay at the moment. When I wake up the next morning, it's far from okay. Because of all the animals and excrement, the flies are rampant. It's Sunday, and so it's off to church. Kerkos is a profoundly Christian community and home to a 5th century Orthodox church. Brahanus told me the best way to be accepted here is to prove I'm a Christian by kissing the Bible. But when I tried, the church attendant runs away. Then chaos breaks out. I'm amazed to find myself standing next to someone who can speak English in the village.
Is this to do with us?
Yes.
They are worried, very worried, because they say he is very, very tall and also he is white. When we see him, we became afraid.
So I am like a curse.
Yeah,
I'm bad.
yeah.
The villagers are shocked by my size. They equate fat with terrifying greed.
ምንድነው ስናወራ የነበረው የመልኩንስ እየተገለጸ ኑሯል ሰው የሚበላ ነው አሉ የሚሉ ማሉ ሰምቻለሁ እኔ በጆሮዬ ምንድነው የባሰ ማለ ጭራሽ ትፍትፋቱ ሰውነቱ የለኛል አይተናል መጥቆር አይደለም እኛ የሚበሽተን እንዴት ነው አመጣጡ እንዴት ነው ብሎ የመጠየቁ ሁኔታ አጥሮን ነው ያልተማረ መሆን እንጂ ይሄ ያለ
እንደምን አደራችሁ
እንደምን አደራችሁ ነው የሚለው
I come from London but I am an African
And I am one of you. The reason why I'm here is to get the rest of the world to understand your story. I am here to simply try and tell your story. Maybe I look too big, but if you cut me, it's the same blood that you have, that's what I have.
ፈርቶ ነበረ አሁን ተረዳው አየ አመነ እንግዲህ ምን ችግር አለው ጉዳያችን ጥቅምና ጉዳታችን ሌላ የሚያሰቀቀን ነገር የለም
I'm accepted into the community. Even so, no one is yet prepared to offer me a roof over my head. So for now, it's back up the hill to Brahanu's. No one is any more friendly. All I've eaten today is a piece of bread at the church. The camera crew is staying in Lalibela, a town nearly 40 kilometers away. They drive off for dinner, and I face my second night here all alone.
It's really looking tough. I know it was going to be difficult, but I wasn't expecting it's going to be this tough. But I have no doubt that this story is really worth it. It's reality.
I am very hungry when we finally have injera, homemade bread, with bean sauce and some boiled water. By this stage, I'm grateful for anything. It's Monday morning, and today I'm expected to help in the fields.
I tell you what, I'm really lucky to be having all this this morning because not every family in this region get all this. This is bean sauce and injera. This is what they eat before they go to the farm. And now that we're getting ready to go to our farm, that's what we have in first thing. Thank God, I'm a lucky man.
Brahanu has more than one field and can afford to hire people to help him weed. It's August, the month when villagers weed their fields from dawn to dusk. This is teff, a kind of grass used to make injera. It's weeks before the teff can be harvested. The villagers mistake my size as a sign of strength, but believe me, I'm already feeling weak.
I've just been working a few hours with these people and I'm kind of really tired now. I'm knackered. There's no doubt that my energy level is going down, maybe because of the lack of proper balanced diet. But what is really amazing is the fact that these people are still going on. They seem really up for it. I mean, they have the stamina to go on. The old man, Brahanu, I don't know where they get this energy from.
With nothing to eat since breakfast, I've only managed 4 hours.
Maybe I'm just another lazy African. I mean, that's why I do admire these guys. They're really amazing.
After work, I could kill for a Coke. Though the river acts as a sewage system for the village, everyone drinks from it. I have been warned not to drink the water without boiling it, but I'm desperate. Tatu and Wiser bring me flowers. At first, I'm touched till I realize I'm meant to eat them. Absolutely nothing goes to waste here.
I need to eat a bucket full. What these two taste like? Nice. You eating more than us.
I eventually walked for 6 hours with nothing to eat apart from a few flowers. At last, at 7, there's injera and bean sauce. I wake hungry at 6. There's injera with bean sauce again for breakfast.
Oh, that's the... Slowly, my transformation is taking place. This is from an olive tree, and this is what the villagers use as their toothbrush. It's kind of interesting because it seems to be doing its job. That means...
Getu, my friend from the church, takes me round the village. People here are subsistence farmers, but during the rainy season, no crops are ready to harvest. The government provides food aid, but there's not enough. Last year, the government received over 723,000 metric tons of food from the international community, but only distributed 581.5 thousand of it. I meet another villager, Balai. I am shocked by how small and undernourished his children look.
Why not take them to the hospital?
Balai gets food aid, but it's run out. The government allows the minimum of 12.5 kilograms of grain per person monthly, but Balai got that for his entire family, and he has 8 kids.
How does he feel when they don't have enough to eat at all?
ልብ ሰባን ያደክማን ቁጭ እንዳሉት ዝም በሉ አትነሱ ይላል ያው ሆዲ መቼም ጦም ባዶ እንዳይሆን ነው እንጂ ክረምቱን ጎመን ይበላል
I want to know what this wild cabbage is that I'm told so many people are living on. It turns out to be a weed, and I go scavenging for it with Balai. It grows everywhere, even amongst their crops. Balai has a tiny plot by his house and another small field for plowing. I help Balai's son get away. He looks about 12, but he says he's 18.
Okay. Hey. The skill, the energy, the strength, I mean, how did you master this? Because I can't. How many hours a day do you plow? 7 in the morning to 6?
Oh.
Are there times when you come to the farm without eating?
After plowing, I help Balai and his family weed their crops.
Even now, knowing that I've eaten better breakfast than this old man and the wife, I don't seem to have that energy to go on at all. It's incredible the way they put up with this every day. This is the first battlefield against hunger, and they just got to find that extra willpower to go on.
I've only been in the village 4 days, but I'm exhausted from lack of food and already losing weight. I'm shocked by how the villagers survive on so little food aid. As I move on to another part of the village, I'm not so sure if I'm going to make it to the end of the first week, let alone the end of the month. I've been in Kerkos just over a week, and though I've felt hungry and weak, I didn't realize I was having it good. My new family is even poorer than the Brahanus, and I arrive at my new home with no idea of what I'm going to eat from now on.
This is not looking too bad. I mean, less flies, got a bed here. Wonder if it will carry my weight. Should. I've lost a bit. Bit of shitty business here. There's cows and this looks like dogs. So I've got a bit of cleaning to do. But contrast, the rich guys, are filthy rich. And the poorer guys have got less shit.
Like the Balais, the Alamnos received 2 months' worth of food aid and collected it the week before I arrived. Mrs. Alamno shows me what's left.
How long do you think this is going to last you? How many kilos were you supplied? If this is going to finish within the next couple of days, what are you going to eat then?
When Bahani's husband, Alamnu, comes home, he tells me about everyday life in the village.
እየሞቱ ነው በራብ እየሞቱ ነው ህፃናት ወይ አውከይ ሙታለች እኔ ራሴ እህት ሙታለች
What happened to her?
ርቧት ተሰዳ ራያ ሄደ ከራያ ነፍሰ ጡር ናት ልጇም ሞተ እሷም ሞተ ወልዳው የራቡ ስሜት በሽታ አጠቃት ልጇም እሷም ሞቱ ቀበሩ
It's my first night and it's not easy to have fun.
Football club, Manchester United. David Beckham, you play football.
We eat injera with bean sauce. Well, at least it's not wild cabbage. Brahanu takes me to the local market town of Bilbala, 7 kilometers away. People walk here from Kerkos to collect their food aid. We go and see the local administrator, Zemet, who decides who gets food aid in Kerkos. I want to know why so many people aren't getting what the government claims.
The government has given you guidelines, as to how much quota you should give. 12.5 per person. Why don't you just stick to that?
እንግዲህ ለአንድ ሰው 4 ጉቺ የማንሰጥበት ምክንያት ህዝባችን በቁጥር ሲመጣ ወደ 8942 አካባቢ ነው የሚሆነው ከዚያ መካከል የሚመጣው ቦታ እንግዲህ ከአንድ ሺህ እንኳን በታይ ነው የሚመጣ ይህንን እየታየ መንግስት በቂርዳታ እያደረስኩ እየተከፋፈለ ነው ከሆነ ይሄ ስህተት ነው መንግስት ይሆናል ስህተቱ
The government's Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Commission claims that between August and December 2003, Ethiopia's food requirement was met. But my experience so far shows the food aid is not getting to where it's needed most. Even in the market, there's hardly any food. I get back to the village to find the food aid is finished and Mrs. Alamno preparing supper. It's wild cabbage again, and I go to bed hungry. Last night was really my worst night. It was like a nightmare.
The bed bugs were all over the place. I mean, my bag, this morning I kind of took everything out, took out every book, every paper, pen, sprayed everything bit by bit, took them off my clothes, trousers, socks, everywhere they were. And I don't think I'm prepared to, go through what I went through last night. It's just unbelievable.
What's worse, there's only cabbage for breakfast. I go down to the river to wash the bedbugs off with Alamno's oldest son, Desala.
Morning, Steve Victorious, no washing. But don't worry. Gonna smell sweet for another hour or two. See, that's how they have their bath. That's what I don't like. Oh, take soap. They don't, believe me. Good, yes.
Everyone here seems to be suffering the effects of a bad diet. This teenager has a bacterial infection.
How long have you had it?
ያዘኙና ቀለብ በማጣቴና አገሬ ሩቅ ስለሆነ በጣም በለምነ በዚህ አንዱ ስለምን ወይ ያላገኘው ያልን በራም የተነሳ ሁኔታም ከዚያ ቀጥሎ ደግሞ ያገኘነው ንጽህና ያለው ስለሆነ
እና ጨረቃ ደግሞ ስትወጣ ደግሞ እንዲያረግነ የምናከከው በጨረቃ ጊዜ ነው። በጣም የሚነሳብን ነው በጣም
Don't you think by even washing it with, clean water, it will help?
This 16-year-old has scabies. Severe malnutrition weakens the skin and makes it far more vulnerable to bacteria and parasites.
It's really, really amazing the effect that the lack of food has on villagers here. Looking at this kid and his colleagues, seeing the diseases, the damages, the broken skins that they have simply because they can't get proper food or they can't even get enough, really saddens me because these are diseases that can easily be prevented or easily cured.
These teenagers have been sent to live here by their parents to train as priests, but the church school doesn't receive food aid, and so the boys have to beg. We set off begging the next day. Last night I only ate cabbage and I've had no breakfast, nor have they. But we walk 5 kilometers to another village. After 2 hours, the boys have managed to beg a few scraps of bread from people hardly able to spare it themselves. After the long walk home, I find Getu waiting for me. He's desperate to improve his English.
Beef,
Yes.
ox,
Beef or?
beef or ox meat.
Have you eaten them? Like beef, chicken, fish, goat meat. Have you eaten them? Rice.
No.
But you know what is rice?
Rice.
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know what is rice? How about fish?
Fish. I don't know.
You've never seen a fish.
Yes.
You've never eaten a fish. If people hear this, they won't believe you. They will think you're joking.
But he's not joking. And it's another reminder of how these people are just surviving on a grim diet of injera, bean sauce and wild cabbage, and sometimes just the wild cabbage.
I truly dread sunset in this place. I hate it when it's nightfall because that's when most of the children start crying and the adults coughing simply because they've had little or nothing to eat.
Tonight, there's nothing, not even the wild cabbage.
አዎ እንዴት ዋላችሁ በሚል ወቅት አንዱ አሞኛን አንዱ ርቦኛን በሚለኝ ወቅት ያው እቸገራለሁ፣ በጣም እቸገራለሁ። ስለዚህ እንዴት ሆናችኋል ለማለት አልችልም።
መጠየቅ አንችልም። አውቀን እየተው ነው መጠየቁን እየተው ነው ችግራችን። ሙላው በሽተኛ ስለሆነ ራብተኛም ስለሆነ አንጠይቃቸውም።
Get up in the morning, no breakfast. I'm told I've got to go to the farm. The alumnus farm turns out to be a small plot of land just behind their hut. We walk till about 1:30 when we have a piece of injera each, and then it's back to work. I was aiming to do like 2 hours. I only did like an hour and a half, and I can barely stand, my eyes were like, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna drop. My head was kind of going round, and my back, my legs were wobbly. What seems to be striking me about my host, especially Mrs. Alamno, is her ability to keep going under these extreme conditions. She simply won't stop walking. We're plowing, weeding, picking wild cabbages here and there. She just kept walking, not even thinking about taking a break, like a slave girl with somebody holding a whip behind her. And believe it or not, she's not eating a single thing. Yet this woman seems so at ease with herself. She seems so calm. I just don't know how she's managing it all. For me, even this is seriously hard work on an empty stomach. All I've eaten today is a piece of injera in the fields. I just pray to God, that the wild cabbage, I seem to dread so much. Wild cabbage, I don't even want to think about. Just pray to God, I get it within the next few hours. I just need something here, just something. Later, the kids eat injera, but for us adults, there's only boiled wild cabbage. I'm so hungry I'd happily take food from a baby. It looks like I'm losing it. I thought that was for me. Please. 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 Balak. Please. Yes. Me? Get to. Oh, no. Please. 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 The amazing thing is how incredibly you can survive on little or nothing. I know I'm losing weight. My stomach is twisting and turning inside. It's paining me every day, because, I'm not eating that much, so too are they. But, I'm still going. My legs are not... Shut up.
Is there breakfast, do you think, for you?
If there's gonna be breakfast, I think it should have come by now, but I'm not really looking up. At least we'll get some bread in the church, so I see why a lot of people use faith as another diet, because in the church you're going to get at least something to eat, so I'm looking forward to going to church this morning. I joined the weekly gathering of priests and elders after church, and after the bread we get talking. I thought that just an unlucky few in the village were surviving on wild cabbage and leaves, But the priest tells me otherwise. The priest said, most of you are eating these, yeah? The roots of this leaf, yeah? Can you honestly put your hands up if any of you at the moment are surviving on this? I mean, I'm finding it very difficult to eat this. Tell me, now that we're eating just this grass, you know, these cabbages, how do you feel?
ይንጓጓን ይቆርጠኛል። እንደገና ደግሞ ስራ በተንቀሳቀስ ወቅት ጉልበቴ ይቀንሳል። እንደ ህሉ አይሰጠኝም።
But what about the children? I mean, how does this affect them?
ልጆቹ ጎመን መበሉ ቀን ያው ማለቀስ ነው። ከሆዳቸው አይደዛ ነው። ማልቀስ ነው። ቁልቁል ይላቸዋል። ጥቅማጥ አስቀምጣቸው።
It looks so disgusting. I mean, I'm sorry, it's food we're eating, but what about you? How does it taste?
ጣሙ ከጉሮሮ አይወርድም። በግድ ነው የምወጣው። የራብ ሁኔታ ነው እንጂ በግድ ነው የምወጣው። በግድ ነው የምወጣው። ከዋጡት ወዲያ ደግሞ ሆዴን ከላውሳል። እንደገና ደግሞ ከሆድም አይቆይም። እንደ እህል ጥናት አይሰጥም። ሽንት ነው የሚሆነው ደግሞ።
I'm shocked. I thought they were used to the wild cabbage. They don't complain because that's all they have.
ሀሳብ ነው እንጂ ሌላ ምን ይሰማኛል? ማሰብ ነው። መጨነቅ፣ መቸገር፣ ማሰብ ምን እንበላ ይሆን? ከተህማ ልበዴር ከተህማ ልሄድ ነው።
Most mornings, Kabate, the 5-year-old, comes in to wake me.
They came in their thousands from the tribal areas of northwest Pakistan.
Another morning. Yet again, there's no breakfast. I'm not sure I can take this anymore. 17 days ago, I weighed 16.5 stone, and now I weigh about 15. I'm weak and dizzy. I just can't take this any longer. It's just bread and sand and flies and smell and air and water and nothing else. Well, maybe the wild cabbage. But me, I've had it up to here, man. It's tough. I'm beginning to feel a bit worried that, you know, another day or two without food, I just won't make it. Seriously, guys, you have to bring me something to eat. Otherwise, I'm out. I'm in this. It's my head is like continually. I haven't eaten for 2.5 days. I have constant stomach cramps, on top of which the devoutly Christian villagers have been fasting. They're not allowed to eat before 3 o'clock, and then only injera and vegetables. Not that there is anything else, but today there is suddenly the smell of coffee in the air, announcing the end of fasting and the annual village festival. First, there is bread, and the best is yet to come. So after this, it's going to be chicken. How many days? 2.5 days. Not eating. We've been saving up for this. Since I've been here, it'll be nothing like chicken, no meat, no fish, nothing. Today, there's no milk, but I tell you what, there will be chicken today. Man, chicken today, I tell you, chicken today. The singing is crap, man, but I'll be chicken today, man. Man, it's chicken today. They're coming. Come on, it's chicken today, man. It's coming, strangers. In accordance with tradition, village girls go from hut to hut, dancing in exchange for bread.
Chicken is here today. Chicken is here today. Chicken is here today. Quack, 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 quack. Wow. This is really delicious. I mean, it's precious chicken, this is. I've been dying for this for weeks. This is the real McCoy. It's just really different. Weeks. I've never tasted anything like this, man.
ዛሬ ለለቱ አሁን ደስ ብሎናል። ባም ተበዲያትረን ጠመቅንም ጋገርንም ደህና ጠግበን በልተን ደስ ብሎናል ልጆቻችን ጋር። ሀሳብ ነው ያው ሀሳብ ነው።
No breakfast today. The memory of chicken is starting to torment me.
So no, it's not so much the bed bugs. It's the cold. It's terribly cold. The flies kind of go a bit quiet at night, and there wasn't much crime tonight. It was really bitterly cold, and that's what making me stay up all night.
After the festival, it's back to reality and the prospect of no food, and for some, no work either. My friend Getu and Bahanu's nephew, Adisu, are not eligible for food aid because as young men, they are deemed physically fit enough to find work.
መበላው የለኝም እርዳታም የለኝም ምንም ነገር የለህም ተብያለሁ ምጠምደው በሬም የለኝም ችግረኛ ነኝ በጣም ምክንያቱም እህሉም ገና አልደረሰም ያም እንደተዘራ ስላልደረሰ ስራ ትንሽ ቢገኝ በከተማ
What do you plan to do?
ላሊበላ ነው ስራ የምፈልገው እዚህማ ስራ የለም አልተገኘም
We set out on the long 37-kilometer walk through the mountains to Lalibela.
It's only less than 2 hours we've done out of this 7 or 8 hours journey. But we'll keep going. This is just the beginning. Head on, man. We will make it happen. Keep your dream alive, eh? Walking Lalibela also. Will we get walk? I don't know. Yes. Ask her this. Really exhausted. My legs can't quite carry me. We've not eaten anything since this morning, so just really tired. And these are the only things you can find to eat during this trip. I don't know their names, but they are flowers. These guys are eating. They're eating it. Is this what everybody? That's what people eat on the road. That is all that you eat when you're making this trip. No. I don't know.
I'm eating.
This is really for survival. Gosh, this is killing. How many hours left? Now from here.
Let's start.
It's now getting worse.
My back is killing me, and I have to ask Adisu to give me a massage. After that, I can't face getting up again. I'm quickly sound asleep, but not for too long.
Just want to get to Fucking Lalibela. I'm tired. Ooh. This half hour is the longest.
"27 kilometers later, and after 25 days on an Ethiopian diet, I just can't go on.
I want to rest.
Getu and Adesu are up to it, but I finally break.
Want to do that? Take a rest here and then we'll drive up, yeah?
The film crew intervene for the first time and drive us the remaining 10 kilometers up the mountain into Lalibela. Adesu has relatives to stay with, so we part ways, and Getu and I find shelter with Getu's aunt.
No, if you don't want to lie down, don't worry. I just have to rest.
There is no pillow.
Huh? Pillow. Don't worry about pillow. I just want to rest. It. My back and my feet. Killing me.
Later that night, I have to confess I weakened. I knew the only way I could carry on was to eat. Fearing for my health after my collapse, the camera crew agreed to bring us a meal.
You hungry as well?
Yes.
The next day, I feel strong enough to live like an Ethiopian again. If we are to eat, we must earn our money, so we go looking for work.
What did he say? Yeah?
No work. Israel. Nyamin sarkar inner no de.
Sir, what did he say?
There is no work.
ምን ትችላለህ? ግንበኝነት ትችላለህ?
Well, I can do anything because we're hungry. Yeah, so I can do anything.
ማንኛውንም ስራ ስራ። በቀን 5 ብር።
One day 5 ብር.
5 bra is just about 40 pence.
It's a few hours and I'm already knackered. I'm just worried that I might just get the sack anytime now. But if that does happen, you know, I will just wish them good luck. I don't think I have enough energy left, you know.
We are sacked, but it's not for the reasons I feared. The camera has been distracting the others, so we are told to leave with just over half a day's pay. 10 bra to split between us, about 75 pence. But I know exactly what to spend it on.
Voila! Great. This is rice. That is.
Getu has never seen rice in his life. He puts a grain behind his ear to show his family later.
This and the Anjira, the wheat, which is better?
This.
Hmm?
This.
This is better?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, enjoy it then. I'll leave you in peace. Because I have been dying for this.
Men might have it tough earning 5 bro a day on building sites, but girls from the countryside earn just 20 bro or £1.50 in an entire month working in bars.
To Lalibela.
Lalibela, right?
Yeah. Strong.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Oh.
Ahita goes to school but can't afford to buy exercise books or clothes. Like many of these so-called bar ladies, she's turned to prostitution to make ends meet.
ማለት አንድ ወንድ ከጠየቀኝ አዎ ይሄ 20 ብር ስለማይበቃኝ ግዴታ እኔ መያዝ አለብኝ ግን ትንሽ ከፍ ያለ ፍራንክ ካልሰጠኝ ዝም ብዬ በዝቅተኛ ምናምን አላድም። አረ መጥፎ ነው ጥሩ ነው ብዬ ማልገምተው በጣም መጥፎ ነው። ከዛሬ በሽታ በጣም መጥፎ ነው።
How long have you been here?
አይ 2 ወር ምናምን ነው ቢሆን።
How old are you now?
60.
You haven't even introduced your friend to me. What's her name? Getu? Can we talk? What is happening? You used to talk.
Getu is shocked to find that the girls are prostitutes. He recognizes one of them from around Kirkos, and she is too scared to speak about her profession in front of someone she knows from home.
You know a lot of girls who go to school and are forced to be doing this just to be able to pay for their education?
በጣም ብዙ አሉ። አይ እንደኔ ሀገር የመጡ ናቸው። ግን እኔ ለወደፊቱ ትምህርቴን ተምሬ ውጤት አገኛለሁ። ትንሽ ቤተሰብም ካለ ለመርዳት ፈልጋለሁ። ራሴን አሻሽላለሁ የሚል ሐሳብ ነው እኔ የምገምተው።
አቡሽና
10 brub between us, about 75 pence. That's all we manage to earn in Lalibela. There's no work, and these young men have only one option: to return to where they came from. Besides, my time in Ethiopia is nearly up. It's September 1st. I've lost 3 stone, and it's my last day in the village. If I've learned anything this last month, it's that dishing out more food aid is not enough if people here are to pull back from the edge of starvation. Ethiopia faces a far bigger challenge because the land here simply cannot go on sustaining generations of subsistence farmers like the Alamnus. As I get ready to leave, I wonder how they are going to cope, battling to find enough food to feed their children for just another day, let alone another year.
You know, the world only focuses on Ethiopia when people are helpless and dying. That's when we start paying attention. Yet we forget that there are millions of people who are living in hunger day in, day out, all year round, just like the people in this village.
I have nothing but respect and admiration for the Alamnus who have shared the little they have with me and never complained. After all this, I wonder what they think of me.
እኛ ጋራ ችግሩን መከራውን ገፋ ጥሬ ብንበላ ጥሬ ጎመን ብንበላ ጎመን ጦም ብናድር ጦም አድሮ በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ተሰቃየ ስለኛ እሱ ተሰቃየ።
እሺ እኔም አመሰግናለሁ። የኔን ችግር የኔን መከራ ባየህልኝ ገብተህ በቀረጥከኝ በጣም ደስታ ይሰማኛል። አመሰግናለሁ።
When things get tough, you know, you are the toughest. I've seen you people going, and I hope that will stay with me wherever I go. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Well done, Malak. Next translator. Bye bye.